Okay, so within this script, next is this $temp password. And we gave this password here, temp at 12345 secure, exclamation sign. And in this one, it's forcing this to encrypt it. It's securing the password, converting it to the secure string, and also setting it to the temp password. Let me do something here. I think I have that one here. Okay. Yep. So in this one, let's keep it side by side like this and zoom this one slightly. So first of all, it's importing Active Directory, load the Active Directory module to run. Second, it's setting the path, define where the script read the input CSV and where it will export the result the user created successfully. Now, second is to set the temporary password, where temp password is this one. So set the default password that meets AD complexity requirement and convert it into a secure string so it can be used with new user. This actual command, new-AD user. It should be secure string before using it. We can't type the password directly. So that's why it created the first variable here as $temp password and then specified the value of that $temp password. Then in the next line, that's the actual secure password string where it's trying to convert this temp password as plain text. That's force. Now here, next we specified the root OU. We are specifying that where the user will create or all objects will create. So first of all, it's a $root OU, where OU is Delhi. And we are specifying to get AD domain. That's the command to get the actual domain, which is anirudh.it, the Active Directory domain name, and actual DN for the anirudh.it, which will be something like this. DC equals to Anirudh, comma, DC equals to IT. So that is to find the domain DN. So this will provide just the domain name, but with dot distinguished name, it will provide the actual DN for the name. Then to create Delhi OU, if it is missing, so that's the if argument here, which is saying if hyphen not get AD organization unit is trying to find right now with the get, it is trying to find. If we have this OU equals to Delhi and the search base, what the meaning of search base here? Search base is always where we will search within the Active Directory. So let's check where it is searching. The search page is root OU. Root OU and with error action silent continue. Let's check here. Create department OU under Delhi if missing. So here, oh, I scrolled a lot. We were here. So search base is the Get-AD domain, the actual domain, anirudh.it. So it will try to find Delhi OU before creating it. It will check if it is already exist or not. If not, then it will create. So here in this section, it's creating new-AD organization unit -name Delhi. So in first line, it tried to search within get OU distinguished. That's the search base within the anirudh.it. It tried to search. When it failed to find, then it execute this one to create. And then to write host. Write host is simply to write the message on the screen that created OU with the name this Delhi. Now, next is to create subfolder inside the Delhi. Now, here we created one more variable, $OUs equals to accounting, comma, sales, comma, management, comma, IT, comma, server, comma, workstations. That's the organization unit to create. So here for each OU in this section, it will try to search this. So first of all, create department OU under Delhi if missing. So again, it's searching first if it is already there or not. So it's searching now where? In the root OU. Now our root OU is Delhi, right? So
Yes,
if
sir.
we check the script here on the top, that's the root OU, Delhi, right? So in this section, it will try to find if we have these organization units already exist or not. If it is not, then it will start to create these OUs one by one. Now and then to type the message that OU has created. Then once the OUs are created, it will start to import user from the CSV. Here comes this actual CSV file, this file. So whatever the information here we have, let's check what it's doing with that. So first of all, that $users variable to import CSV and the path of CSV that we gave in the first command, it will try to find that there, that CSV file, read users from CSV, expected headers. So within that CSV file, it will try to find these headers: first name, last name, department, phone number, domain name, proxy address.
Proxy address.
Once it will read these headers within the CSV file, as we know, CSV file can be opened inside the Excel. And
Excellent.
once you open in Excel, we will get the header on the top. What's the header for each column? Now, once it will read the header, each column, then it will create one empty array. With this empty array again, it's called one more environment
Get it.
variable.
Yes.
So with this variable, it will keep this empty and then it will search for these information one by one from that Excel spreadsheet. For each user, it will read each user detail from CSV row. So first of all, that variable will link to the Excel spreadsheet where it says user.first name. Then next will be user's last name. Like that, it will keep doing that thing. And here it's also about secondary to split. If we have multiple email addresses as a secondary email address, then it will use split, and the split will be this semicolon to split multiple email addresses. Now it will start to read each detail from CSV. Once it will read, then the next argument within this PowerShell script is to if $department in, if you have these two departments listed, because we gave the OU's name, right? So it is to skip these two OUs, not to create any user within this. So it's skipping that and writing the message, skipping user for department, these two departments, server and workstation. So it's skipping these two departments, or you can say the OUs, and then it will continue next. So user shouldn't be created in server and OU, the workstation OUs, because these two are to keep only server and workstation, not the actual user, right? Now, next is to build username and email address. Now, here it will start the actual magic. As we can see, it's showing the first of all $Sam, the actual login name, and that will be $first name dot substring 01 plus comma. So comma, sorry, not comma, it's dot. Then the last name to lower. Now, primary email address will be this Sam now at domain name.
Domain dot.
So if domain is anirudh.it, whatever the domain we have in the Excel spreadsheet, in this Excel spreadsheet or in the CSV file, wherever we have domain name, this one, like this one has make it lifelike. This one has anirudh.it. So it will use these domains. Here in this. So now it's creating one object using two different arguments. So one argument is here Sam and other one is our domain name. So it will
Yes, sir.
use this Sam. Sam is the first name's first initial. This 01 is combination of collecting the first initial only from first name and then the whole last name. That way the primary email address will be for, let's say if it is Anirudh Chauhan, then it will be A.Chauhan. So it's showing here first name, last name format, example A Smith. So this way it will create the primary email address. Then also to specify which one will be the UPN. Email address is something that we can see within the general tab of user, right? Once you open the Active Directory, in the general tab, we see the email address. But the
Yes, sir.
UPN comes in the account tab. Once we open the account tab, there it shows the UPN, the actual login ID for the user principal name. So this will create UPN next. UPN will be same as primary email address. That's what we specified in this command to keep the UPN same as primary email address. Next is to define target OUs. So where to keep these users? So it's showing to keep this as the department belongs to those user. Wherever we have department listed for user, it will start adding those user within those OUs. Automatically, it will create those user in the right OU. If I'll check that Excel spreadsheet one more time here, we have department listed here. If it is accounting, then this user, John Doe, will create inside the accounting only.
Accounting.
Right? Then next is the proxy address. Proxy address is the secondary email address. So here it's adding the not just secondary, it's also about primary. Both email address, primary and secondary. How that get identified? Wherever we have email address listed as capital SMTP, that will be the primary email address for that user. And if we have anything listed as smaller letter SMTP, that will be secondary email address. So here with this proxy list, it created one empty space first, and then it's adding proxy list plus SMTP primary email. That's the primary one. Then it's creating the secondary. That secondary is coming from the proxy list that we created as aliases. So it will use the next column called alias for creating the secondary email address. And here it will start to create the user. With after creating all those details, it will create the actual user. New AD user, hyphen name, first name, last name, given name, the first name, surname will be last name, SAM account will be that $SAM sign, the variable it created, then the user principal means these are the actual instruction to create user inside Active Directory. And to add those attributes, proxy address. So this is separate argument, other attributes. That's a separate argument. It's not the regular user account creation command. It is optional. And that optional we use to add attributes separately. So we saw that before in Active Directory when we created the Active Directory domain, we saw a lot attributes showing inside the
Yes, sir.
attribute tab, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
there we saw the proxy address. So this is the same thing. Now, once it will create, it will write the host. It will show on the screen as well as it will write the information, all these information inside the new Excel spreadsheet. So this created user variable, that's the first one where it will store the user information in the new Excel spreadsheet or the CSV file. And there are some error handling if something is happening. So it will show the message on the screen instantly. So let's check what we have in Active Directory right now. So whenever you have any PowerShell script, it is good to copy that script, give it to ChatGPT, and inform to explain. It will explain everything. What's the meaning of what within this PowerShell script. So now if I open this Active Directory, I can see that on the top level, it's showing Delhi, right?
Yes, sir.
Then showing accounting, IT, management, sales, servers, and workstation, which are empty. So that's the structure we need. So what happens? Think about this. Your management will contact you to create same Active Directory for new development environment, same as our existing Active Directory. So what you have one option of creating clone of Active Directory, the existing Active Directory, right? And then to build a new virtual machine, new domain controller using that clone. But there is a glitch. You can't keep two server active with the same Active Directory, the copy of Active Directory. Otherwise, the role, the FISMO role will conflict in the network and it will damage the Active Directory database, right? So you will have to build the whole environment from scratch with exact OUs and exact user groups, everything, right? So here, these type of PowerShell script can help you to build the environment in one click. So we'll check that here. First of all, I'm selecting this Delhi's property, and in the object tab, I'm going to uncheck this one. Protect object from accidental deletion. I'm going to delete the OU named Delhi with all objects inside it. Whatever the object we have inside it, I'm going to delete that. So I can right click here and select delete, and yes. And with this message, I'm selecting use delete subtree server control. Yes. So it will delete that OU. Now, inside this script, everything is listed in advance, what to perform.
Yes, sir.
So once I'll run this, it will instantly start the activity and I can see it's doing something here and now done. It's created everything. Each and everything again. So if I'll check here, right click and refresh, I'll get the Delhi OU again with all users, same as it is, right? So
Yes,
that's how the PowerShell script works to build the whole environment from scratch without compromising the existing Active Directory. So what happens here, if I'll check the user account here, let's say this is Rajesh Yadav. I'll check object editor. And I'll try to find this one, object SID. So whenever I'll delete this object and then try to create it again, every time it will generate new security identifier. It will never ever use the previous security identifier because for this Active Directory, it is Active Directory object, right? And to create the object, it will use the RID from RID master, right? And create the new security identifier. So that way it will always add a new security identifier for this newly created object. So I have one more script here, this delete OU. And if I'll try to delete, it will fail. So I'll have to first of all check the properties. And again, I'll have to set this one unchecked so that I can delete it. Now I'm going to delete it using the PowerShell script with this delete OU. So inside the delete OU is a smaller script and it's showing just the Delhi with all child object to delete. So let's run it. Here it will prompt, are you going to delete? This was all child objects. I'll type yes. And done. So if I'll refresh here, there's no more Delhi, right? So try using such script. Try building the environment using script. So I'm giving you this script separately here. Keep this in a separate file. The script name should be .ps1. That's the PowerShell script extension .ps1. So if I check here within my document, I believe, yep, document, these are the files. If I'll select file name extension, you can see it showing ps1 for both scripts. So
Yes, sir.
keep these extension, save these file inside your lab, and try using these scripts. And before that, you will have to also copy this file and keep the file name as users.csv, users.csv. I'm sending this separately here. You have to save this file inside c:temp. Inside the temp folder, you'll have to keep this file. So let me show you here. I'll open this PC, C drive, and temp. That's the file I provided, and that's the file the script is generating after creating user.
Yes, sir.
So try using this, and I have one more video for you. Watch this video at least once. This next video is about creating user in cloud using web interface. So let me show you how that web interface will be. So first of all, portal.office.com. Inside this, once I'll select my apps from the left side here, inside the apps, I'll see forms. There's a application called forms. Let's try finding, there it is, forms, right? So once I open the form, we can build one form. That's what this training video will tell you, that create a form. So I'm going to show you how you can create a form. So first of all, let me show you what I have created. This one, employee onboarding form. And inside that form, we have all these details. So even you can access it. Means everyone has access of their own form, just like on OneDrive, you have your own form. So as you can see, it's showing first name, last name, all these options. And further in the bottom, it will show you the buttons to submit. Click on this one, collect response, and then anyone can respond. Yes,